why should we learn about self-love?
Self-love means loving yourself, the fullness, the wholeness of who you really truly are, with your weaknesses and with your strengths together.
Jerome said at a point that you need to stand guard at the entrance to your heart. If you don't love yourself, you tell me you love me, you are just lying because you don't know what love means yet.
You can be purpose-driven and have an impact on the same time without burning out if you love yourself.
For people who do not love themselves, what does that look like?
We are constantly looking for validation from the outside.
Thank you all of you for joining us in this conversation. This is Obehi Podcast, and we're always happy to bring in different experts here to share their idea, to help us learn from them what they are doing and how we can improve ourselves. We believe in the power of impact, of improvement, of continuous improvement, because life is about improvement. We're never static. Just now talking with my guest who is going to be joining us in a few seconds. Because we did an episode before. Okay, let me just bring you here, Christine. So because we did an episode before and it was really very interesting. So just now, before we started to record, that we were talking of how is life going. Of course, we touched based on a few things that have changed over the years. And it's good that we are moving. We are not always static. In my place, it is said that if you are not where you used to be, you are progressing. So, all right. So like I said, we're going to be talking about self-love and transformation. And that is exactly what it is, because we are not where we used to be. We are not always where we have always been. So with me, we are continuously transforming and moving forward. So today we're going to be learning from Krisztina and how she does her work, what we can learn from her, things like that. So yeah, maybe people want to learn about you to start with. Who are you in a very good sense of it?
Well, first of all, I would love to say thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be back, to be here again. It's been a long time and I'm really happy, and I just would love to congratulate you, for keep going with your podcast and having so many beautiful, guests in your podcast. And the work that you are doing is wonderful, and I don't want to miss the occasion, just to mention this to your audience, that whatever you are doing is brilliant, because people like you are very, very needed, okay? So I just want to mention that right before we just jump in the conversation, okay? As for me, as you said, I'm Krisztina. I'm based in London. I'm a self-love, transformation, and manifestation mentor. I haven't been that always, okay? I'm on this path of coaching and mentoring for a few years now. I absolutely love what I'm doing. I'm a woman who knows what she wants. I know how and where can I help people. I am very driven. I'm motivated. And as you said, when we had the conversation, no matter how small steps we move, but as long as we move forward, we are progressing. So this is where I am right now today.
That is lovely. I love that. And of course, we need to keep to move forward towards a particular direction. With me now, we're not just moving zigzagly. There are patterns, there are rhythm, and there is a direction, there is a guide, a kind of so that even though we are moving with a purpose. And purpose is very important in everything that I do. So I published an article this morning talking about the difference between purpose and impact. And of course, none of them is irrelevant. Both of them are irrelevant in the world that we are today. Looking at also what we are doing with the Diaspora Project, which is a collection of different volunteers from different parts of the world. We are trying to reshape our narrative, celebrating African diaspora history, and of course, connecting us also to where we are coming from, which is Africa. So we are not doing it just zigzagly. We are doing it because we have a purpose. We have an impact that we have to make in the society. And this is very, very, very important. And yes, this is also important within the conversation of today, which is we need to love ourselves. We don't say that enough, no? We need to love ourselves. We need to appreciate how we show up in this world, because we show up with different characteristics, sometimes also with challenges. But those challenges are instruments for us to explore better. Because imagine if you were born you live on a sofa. That is where you live all your life. You never suffer, you never have any challenges. Everything you need, you just get it. You are pretty much going to die very early because all your cell in the body will never develop because what are they going to develop to do? Just to eat or sleep? So life is beautiful because you have this up and down, this normal rhythm of life. You go up, it come down. You need this, but you don't have it, so you need to figure out how do you get that.
Yeah.
All right, Christina,
No, that's
why should
really.
we learn about self-love? Yeah, please go.
No, no, no.
Just
Sorry. Just
joking.
go ahead.
No, I was asking, why should we learn about self-love? Why is it important for you as a topic?
Now, I meant to say that it's really interesting what you were saying about ups and downs, and that's beautiful because if nothing is really linear, right? We always grow. This is, with the ups and downs is the way how we learn and how we grow, how we grow as souls. And you're asking about self-love, sometimes you were talking about, life is easy, going with flow, nothing happens, everything is like how you want. There is no challenge. And I say that it's easy to love yourself, and to be who you are when things are easy. But I say you have to love yourself all the time, especially when things are getting harder, things are getting challenging, right? And people honestly, sometimes when we talk about self-love, and I experienced it very often, that they don't really know or they don't really understand what self-love really truly means, and what does, how to really love yourself. What does that mean, Christina? What do you mean love myself, right? And truth to be told, at the beginning of my journey, right, when I started many years ago, I also thought that self-love, the term of self-love itself, it covers, having a nice bath really, or, doing my hair, doing my nails, like this woman kind of stuff, right? Or girlish stuff. And that was self-love. But along the way, I learned that actually it's much more than that. Self-love means setting healthy boundaries, because sometimes we are in toxic relationships, we are in toxic business relationship, we are having all kind of challenges, and we don't know how to set, for example, healthy boundaries. Okay, setting healthy boundaries is self-love. Saying no to people and circumstances what doesn't serve us anymore, or we don't grow through those. Okay, that's a sign of self-love as well. Yes, the pampering is nice. It's part of self-care, doing your hair and stuff, but it goes deeper. Self-love means loving yourself, the fullness, the wholeness of who you really truly are, with your weaknesses and with your strengths together. Because you see, nowadays in social media, everybody's focusing on your strengths. Be all the time positive, be always on high vibe, and then you will get what you want. But if I'm going to be very honest, and if we are going to be realistic here as we are talking, it's not always like that. Okay, there will be challenges, there will be ups and downs. Okay, there is a part of you who might be angry, who might be sad or grieving. You have to love that part of yourself, because it is you as well, not just the joyful part. And also people say, you have to always be on a high vibe, right? Keep your frequency, keep your vibration, think always positive thoughts. But come on, let's be realistic. That's not always possible, right? Sometimes we go down on the rabbit hole. But loving yourself, it means knowing how to come out from the rabbit hole as well, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. And I really appreciate you for that explanation. That is really powerful. In that you have a kind of a guard now, in that you're not just putting in everything. I think that it is important motivational speaker, the coach for Tony Robbins. His name is Jim Rohn. Jerome said at a point that you need to stand guard at the entrance to your heart, to your mind. I think, yeah, to your mind. That is what he called it. Is that you need to be watchful of the information that come to your mind, because you are going to have to live with them. So loving yourself, in this case now, we also mean that you are conscious of the action that you are taking. That this is whom I am. If the information that is coming to you is not the direction that you are going, you don't need to accept it just because people want it. Because you need to love yourself to the point of taking on only the type of suffering that you accept. Anything outside of that, you don't take it, because you're not just there for the purpose of suffering. Everything should have a sense, should have a meaning in respect to where you are going. Yeah, there are going to be challenges, but the challenges must be in line with where you are going. So I think it is going to be very important in that line. But why are people not able to do that, Christina? Why is despite all this information? Because Jim Rohn again will say, no, this is another motivational speaker. N.I. Gia will say, information is everywhere. You can choose to be ignorant or choose to learn. The choice is yours. So all this information are there now, but why are people not able to love themselves, or they just jump in auto things because they don't want to offend people or things like that? What do you say about that?
Now, my very, very short answer is because they are too much in their head. Okay. A longer answer would be because most of us, especially if, as you said, you are not willing to grow, you are not willing to learn, you are not curious, right? We are very much led by the ego. Okay. I love ego. Ego is good. We need ego. But ego, and that's the reason why people say, yeah, loving myself is selfish, or, what is that? Right? Oh, come on, Christina, don't talk to me about love, self-love, because, it's not necessary. It's important for me to go have my business, make some money, and that's all what matters. But the truth is that those people are driven by, they are very much in their head. Okay. So you make decisions from your head. But when along the way you move from your head to your heart, and you get to understand that everything comes from within, then you will really truly understand the meaning of what self-love it means as well. Okay? Because everything, nothing, it's coming from outside of you. Okay? And everything what is showing up in your reality, in your outer world, it's actually nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. Okay, so for example, let me put it this way: the way how you love yourself, the way how you respect yourself, okay, how you know your worth, how you treat yourself, that's a within. That's the way how you show and how you teach other people, your environment to love you, to respect you, okay, and to recognize your worth. So it's very important to especially be aware. I always say to my clients, and whenever I'm in postcards like yours right now, beautiful one, right? That self-awareness is your greatest power. Because when you are self-aware, what of your thoughts, of your words, what you are saying, how you think about yourself, how you talk about yourself, how do you feel about yourself, okay? What is it that you project on the outside? That's step number one. That's your self-awareness. That's already a sign of self-love. That's already part of loving yourself, really, truly. Okay. And then understanding your weaknesses and strengths. I talked about this already, right? This is also part of self-love. It is self-love. Getting to know who you are. Getting to understand why do you make decisions and how do you make decisions. Are you taking decisions in your finances, in your business, in your relationships from your head or from your heart? Because very, very often we ignore what's in our heart and we follow, the head, because that follows a certain pattern. Okay, there is something what you have learned, and your mind has already an information about certain things. Okay, but what's in the heart, is that gut feeling. Okay, which might sometimes doesn't make any sense or doesn't make any logic, or it goes completely against the odds. But it comes from here, from your gut. But we never listen to that. We listen to the ego, right? To the head. But when we learn to tap into, within, to tap in our heart core, that's when we are really self-aware. And that's also a very beautiful and sacred form of loving yourself and giving yourself permission to step out the comfort zone, to do something different, to be something different. Okay, I hope I'm making sense, because it's a lot. I can talk hours about it, and you know that. but
Thank you so
yes,
much.
but
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So before I was referring to this article that I published today. So when I was researching this article that had to do with the difference between um, purpose-driven and impact-driven. So I read this important article. I don't remember exactly the name now, but and then of course I sort of filter in the idea that I got from that purpose-driven lead to personal growth, in that your strength is within. It's like, where is the logos of control? So that what is moving you is the inside. You want to grow. Even though you might want to make an impact, but you are driven from the inside. So that everything about you is entirely about being holistic, everything complete.
Exactly.
Whereas being impact driven is that you have an objective. That objective is the most important. Sometimes it can lead to even burnout because you want to sacrifice everything to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Then of course, the message I'm leaving in the article is that I'm not necessarily saying that you should, one is bad, the other one is good, but whether that one is going to give you more fulfillment, which is because if in the package of what you want you are included in this, then you need to be careful of who you become in the process of achieving your goal. So I think this is becoming very important, that is that you don't want to sacrifice everything. Again, I think I don't know who was saying it. Was it Napoleon Hill or what Watto Waller in his book The Science of Getting Rich? I think it is what Watto Waller's, that you need to I don't remember exactly how he put it, but it talked to the effect of you don't need to sacrifice yourself. In the sense of just sacrificing yourself for the purpose of sacrificing yourself for a cause. You need to understand that you are part of the equation. So that everything you are doing, you need to include yourself in it. And I think that is really very important when we talk about loving yourself. And we really need to love ourselves, because if you don't love yourself and you tell me you love me, you are just lying, because you don't know what love means yet.
Exactly.
You must love yourself to tell me, oh, I understand what it means. So now I'm telling you because I want to save the world. But you don't want to save the world killing yourself. Of what use is it? Anyway, maybe I probably take it longer than that. But what I'm
No, actually, I love what you are saying, because you are saying beautiful things there. You are saying about self-love, and you were saying about purpose-driven and impact. If can I just go a little bit on this one, if you allow me?
please, yeah.
Okay. Number one, let's go just for a second. I'm going to go back to what you said for purpose-driven and having an impact. Yes, I'm going to read your article actually, or the article you're talking about, but I think that you can be purpose-driven and have an impact on the same time without burning out if you love yourself.
So
Okay?
good, so good.
If
Go
you
on.
love yourself. Because when you have a purpose for a reason. God gave you a purpose for a reason. And that purpose is, for example, I don't know, to uplift others. Yours, for example, what you are doing, that's purpose. That's your purpose, no matter, that makes me happy, okay? Because this is how we grow as well. But on the same time, we inspire others, and then we learn something new, and then we grow. So we have an impact. You have an impact on the people around you, on your audience. I have an impact, So whenever we share something, but on the same time, it's something what we do from heart. This is our purpose. This is what we do. We find out we are on the path. We are on own path. And this doesn't lead to burnout, because you are doing it with joy, right? You are doing it with it makes you feel happy. But on the same time, you give yourself permission to rest. You give yourself permission to lead others, but to lead from heart, not by burnout. Not because, then what's the point? Okay? There's no point on it, because God gives you, yes, you have a purpose. God gives you the purpose. If you have a dream, that dream was given to you for a reason. Whatever you see in your imagination, and whatever you want to be, and you can see it clearly in your mind, it means that it already exists. Okay?
That's so
So
beautiful.
that's your purpose, to call that into your reality. But if you are going to burn out, if you do not love the person who you are, first of all, then how can you, as you said, how can you love others? How can you, show others what love means, or what respect means, or how leading a heartful business, or lead the business from heart, how does that mean if you don't know what it is? Correct? And you were talking about just say again, what was your last sentence about self-love? You said something beautiful there, because let me just recall that. Yes, when you say to someone, I love you, right? But you don't love yourself, how can you really truly love them? And that's beautiful. Just think about it. When you make a mistake, okay, when you fail apparently on something, then we tend to be very harsh to ourselves, right? We beat ourselves up and we say, okay, I messed it up again. I'm never going to make it. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. I still have to have 5,000 certificates to be able to be a good coach. So this is the way how we talk to ourselves. Okay. Now think about it. Would you talk like that to your best friend? Your best friend made a mistake, right? And oh, you go there, you are compassionate with him, you encourage him, you say, no, it happened, okay, just go on, keep going, you can do better next time, right? Now, if we say that to our best friend, would we tell to our best friend what we tell to ourselves? No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, that is a
So,
good point.
so I'm saying we have to learn. I had to learn myself to talk to myself like I'm talking to my best friend. I encourage myself because if you are not your greatest cheerleader, if you do not love yourself, then who else? Because how you, as I said, how you cheer for yourself, how you respect yourself is the way how you teach others. And again, if you won't say bad thing to another person, why would you say it to yourself? You are the most important person in your life. You wake up with yourself, you go to bed with yourself. When you look in the mirror, the person who's looking back at you is you, nobody else. So
Yeah.
that's the deepest form of self-love, giving the same compassion and understanding and respect to yourself like what you give to others. I think this is the simplest way how can I explain really what self-love means. And from this is the beginning of a beautiful transformation. It's a process, a healing process, a transformation process that will literally make huge changes and transformation and shifts in all areas of your life, okay? In your relationship, in your business, first of all, in your relationship with yourself, then with others. And that's the beauty of it. It leads to a beautiful transformation, to a growth in all areas. And now I talk too much.
No, not at all, not at all. Of course, we need it. We need to be able to, we need the information because if you don't talk, we will know what is in your head. So it is really important. And I also love what you were saying there, Christina, in that we need to give ourselves even the permission to make mistakes. Because if we don't make mistake, how are we even going to know if we don't do what is wrong? How do we know what is right? It's like
Exactly.
all your life you have been seeing everything correct. Now, how do you even understand the concept of what is wrong? You don't know because life was even never designed like that. Because if you go to a tree under the tree, you will see beautiful flowers, right? But look around very well, you will see some leaves that are falling that they are decaying. If you go to the animal world, you will see fine animal, fine birds flying around. But sometimes you also see a bird that are falling down is dead, is decaying. It's part of the cycle of life. You can't just focus on only the beautiful part of it. But remember that the beautiful part of it cannot be without the ugly part of it. In my town where I grew up, there is a guy who was doing music. His name is Ojo at the time, but I'm talking of more than 20, 25 years ago. So he said that the dustbin has a function in the house. The broom has a function in the house. The toilet has a function in the house. Because usually when we look at how to manage those things, those dirty part of the society, we look at things as if they are filthy. We don't even need to touch it.
Mm.
But take a moment and reflect. In your beautiful house, if you don't take care of those dirty part of it, the most beautiful part of the house will become useless because you can't enjoy it anymore. Because all the food that you have eaten now, they are going to decompose, they are going to pass as waste. If while you are decorating your beautiful house, you didn't prepare a place that you are going to defecate later, how are you going to live in the house? So everything is part of it. The beautiful and the ugly, they're all part of the equation that make it interesting. So I think what that means is that we need to understand that even when we go wrong, it's okay because we haven't gone to the end of it yet. And I think also this is the most beautiful part of the purpose driven and be intentional about the mission. Because the mission is not just to get something right now, but it's a perpetual journey. It's a continuous journey. If you make mistake now, your life was not supposed to end now because you are still alive. You still have chance to change. So forgive yourself and move on. Take the lesson, and move on. All right. Now, what do all this mean within let's call it transformation? What do you say about that? That is the ability to forgive ourselves and the transformation. What does that mean? Maybe for an entrepreneur, for example.
Okay, now that's a beautiful question. That's a really beautiful question. So thank you for asking. It's let me just say a few words first about, failing and making mistakes. That's part of life. Every mistake you make or every so perceived failure is there for a reason. It's there for you to learn. Because as you move along on your journey, right? As you move along on your journey, those mistakes, they will add up, and like puzzle pieces. Maybe you made something what you perceive as a mistake like 20 years ago, but that lesson, what you learned 20 years ago, you might very well use it now in your business when you're going to start to do something new or you start over again, right? So it's yes, failure, and it is part of the journey, and it's not really a failure. I would say that it's more of a lesson. Okay, and that's also part of your transformation. How you transform from a caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly, right? That's a painful process. It's painful, but you cannot heal something within you what you are not willing to feel. Okay, so you have to give yourself permission along the way on your journey, because it's not for one day or two, right? It's for a long time, especially if you have a vision, what you said, and that vision propels you. Okay, so you have a long-term vision. Okay, you might stumble right now, but that's fine because your vision is still ahead of you, and then you can pass through, and you're gonna heal along the way. You're gonna have many past traumas, for example, coming up, right? Many insecurities, and you say, oh, I'm not sure I can do it, or something similar. Okay, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough finances. But as long as you keep your vision in front of you all the time, and you keep your faith, and and you live in the knowing that you already have it, and that you are capable of reaching that vision and your purpose. Okay, let's go to this as well. Then really truly nothing is impossible. Okay, because see, we have this life. It's a journey. It's a journey, and that's why we call it journey. While you are journeying, right, you encounter, it's like in a tale. Okay, in a story, you have good guys, bad guys, fairies, dragons. We encounter all kind of stuff. Okay, so imagine this life, okay, what we are living right now. Okay, this beautiful source, what we are here to learn. And as we walk and we do every day, we win small or bigger battles, right? Whilst we are going to accomplish what we, or we are going after our purpose or the vision what we have in our mind. Okay, that's the journey, and that's what really truly matters. There is a beautiful quote. I just can't remember the guy name who said that. Maybe that he says that it's not the destination, but the journey matters, and that's so true.
Yeah.
It's really, really true, because what you learn along the way, it makes you to be you. It makes you to be unique, your story to be unique, your experiences to be unique. And the more you are open, okay, the more you are willing to learn and to learn from those lessons what life has to give you, the more you can offer. And you are talking about purpose. We are here to serve. Okay, when we open our eyes every single morning, it means that we still have something to do. God still wants us something to do. We didn't fulfill our purpose. So, okay, ask yourself, what is it that I can do today? One tiny little small thing. It doesn't need to be big. People think that they have to accomplish huge, big things and big breakthroughs every day in order to, to reach their destination. No, ask yourself, what is it one tiny little thing what I can do today which brings me closer to my vision, which makes me happy today? One tiny little thing that makes me love myself a little bit more today, or what is it? How can I serve today better or best? And sometimes there are days when your best is only just giving yourself permission to rest, to be, to breathe, to go in the nature. And other days, your best is answering hundreds of emails, doing 5 podcasts and record 5 videos and having 5 clients. I'm just saying an example, okay? And both are okay. Doing nothing is okay and doing a lot is okay. But you always have to give yourself permission and feel, okay, what my soul tells me today, how my soul feels today, what's the color of my heart today.
Beautiful.
Okay. I hope I answered your question because I tend to go here and there, but yes, I truly hope I answered your question though.
You do, you do. Thank you so much for that, Krisztina. I really appreciate that. And that is lovely. That is really in depth, yes, life is all of it. Life is everything. Is holistic. Is everything in it put together. All right. Now, for people who do not love themselves, what does that look like?
Well, this is a very interesting question because, when you do not love yourself, you might love yourself to a certain point. But I think I mentioned a few words about always beating yourself up, feeling that you always have to compete, feeling that you always have to prove yourself to other people. Okay? You are constantly looking for validation from the outside. Okay? And that's really, really exhausting on a longer term. Sometimes you want to prove, most of the time you want to prove to your family, right? You want to prove to somebody else that you are able to do things, you are able to accomplish things. Okay. I wouldn't say you don't really love yourself. I would say that you really don't know yourself, or there is something within you that holds you back to be who you really truly are. And when you recognize that there is something what holds you back to be fully, truly you, to do the things what you love, what makes you happy, that's the first awareness. That's a sign of awareness, being self-aware. Okay, I don't want this anymore. You have this feeling within you that something is missing, that you want to do something else, you want to do something different. That's a sign again, that's awareness of that you might not be on the path what you were supposed to be, but you are on a side track. Okay, not saying wrong path, but you are on the side track. And then you can always change. And that's when healing starts, because when you recognize that in your life there are many things what doesn't fulfill you, doesn't make you happy. For example, you have a big, huge house. Everybody in the village or in the city envy you because you build a huge house. You have a wonderful, luxurious car, right? You have millions in your bank account, and you have apparently a beautiful family, but you feel empty within. You are not happy. Then I'm asking you, who has a better life? Someone who lives in a small house with family around, but doing something what they really truly love, what they make them happy, enjoying life, or the one who lives in a huge castle, having lots of money, but feeling empty from inside?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Because we
Yeah,
see
yeah.
people, Obehi, hustling, and the main driven force, unfortunately, on the society right now is money. But what people do not realize is that money are only the byproduct of who you are and what you feel inside and the energy what you are sending out. That's going to come back to you. Yes, some people might make a lot of money and might accomplish, and kudos to them. All my respect to them. But what's the point when they are empty inside the soul? Their soul is craving for something, but they are suppressing it. Okay? They are suppressing it. Or the person who has a smaller, more modest house, a loving family, doing something what he loves, living life joyfully, right? Walking barefoot, really enjoying life. Because he responded to the soul's calling.
Thank you so much for that. You see, that is really very important what you're saying, Christina. It is important within the context of my country, Nigeria, or let me say, for most Africans today, looking at what is happening to us. Let me again say Nigeria, and within also the context of the book or the article I just made mention of, the difference between impact and purpose. Okay, I can just stretch that and talk about only the purpose. No, some people believe that money is everything. And how this is manifested is that you probably have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Is that people can go to the extreme, something that doesn't happen anywhere in the world, like somebody killing his mother or his son or his father for rituals to make money. Okay, I'm not going deeper than that because that might need a bit more context. But what I want to say there is not understanding who you are. Because some people believe that when you have a lot of money, now you are successful. But it is not true. Success is not money. Success is money is one of the many things that you can add in the scale that make up a successful individual. So just having a lot of money is not success. That is why maybe, for example, you see people might be having a lot of money in the bank. They still go to the bridge and they jump down to die. Because if money was happiness, okay, listen, I'm not saying money is bad. That is not what I'm saying.
No, it's not. No, money it's not.
I'm
It's
saying
not.
that if we put everything in money, we might have money, but we will not be happy. Now, of what use is the money if with all the banks, with all the dollars and billions in your account, you still climb the bridge and jump down to die? Because how do you get to the point of deciding that your life is worthless? Well, there are people who have nothing in the sense of having a lot of cars, a lot of money, but they are living, they are happy. Because it is not about money. Money is good, I repeat again, but you must get money in proportion to the value you are adding to this world. What are you contributing to humanity? Yesterday, I was seeing a video of a young guy. Anyway, that also needs a bit of context, so I'm not going to go there. But what I'm trying to say is that people need to understand the importance of value.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we use money for at the end of the day, again, surprising, is the exchange of value. So you that is asking for money, what kind of value have you got? Because if you have no value now, you have a lot of money, you become a danger even to yourself and the people around you, because money can be used to buy trouble.
Okay, now, may I? There is a lot of things you just said, and I think we could have at least 5 or 6 podcasts from from what you were just talking about there. Okay, let's say a couple of words about about being greedy, okay, and accumulating money no matter what. It doesn't matter who you have to step on and who you have to okay, in order just to make money. I'm not going to go in this because this is going to be a really deeper conversation, but maybe one day we can talk about this. It is called karma. Okay, there are certain life cycles, life situations, so there is a reason. Okay, I'm not going on that part. However, I want to talk about money. Money is good. We need money. Money is always a byproduct, again, of our energy, what we send out, and of our internal world. Okay? Money, like everything else in the world, is energy. Nothing more. Think about money as a tool. Money is a tool with what you can make bigger impact, what you can contribute, serve, have a good life, right? But if you are doing and if you think, okay, how is it that some people have a lot of money and some, no matter what they do, they don't have money at all? That comes from the internal belief. In your subconscious mind, what do you believe about yourself? Again, self-worth, self-love. If you believe that you deserve a lot of money, but you really truly believe that in a core that you are worthy of receiving a lot of money, okay, you will. But if you are hustling and doing a lot of and work and you work hard, you work 24/7 and money keep coming and going, coming and going, that is because of your mentality of lack or thinking that you are not worth, you are not deserving that money, or you think that you have to hustle because this is how you were raised. You've been told that you have to work hard for money. Money, it's hard to come by. They come hard and they go easy, right? And these subconscious beliefs in your subconscious mind is what shapes your reality and your relationship with money. That's why when you see some people having a lot of money, it's because they are doing everything easy and effortlessly. They think that they deserve it, they think about it, they have the idea, and they go and do it. Whilst others, they overthink it, they think that they are not worthy, or they believe that, okay, I had this idea, I have to work hard, how to do that? Oh my God, I need a team. So a lot of, right? They start to overthink, which sends a signal of lack, which means that they do not feel worthy of receiving a lot of money, hence they will not have a lot of money. I hope it makes sense, really.
It makes a lot of sense, and I really thank you so much for that, Christina. Of course, we will need to come back again because we need to talk about karma. See, there are reasons why here sometimes we spend a lot of time explaining the integrity of the conversation, because there are some contests that need to be made to help people understand. This is why we are here. But of course, I thank you for the sharing here, for the value that you brought to the table. I really appreciate that, Christina. Now, people that want to work with you, people that want to learn more about what you do, and people that want to benefit from your coaching, how can they find you? Let them know.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm happy to announce that my website is up and running. It's www.kristinakonya.com. You can find me there. I'm always just one message away. Okay, you can find me on social media. And happy is that we launched some online courses, okay, on manifestation, on self-love, on the power of your words. And I also have free and paid courses available on my website, which means that you can just go on the course, do on your own pace, and then reach out to me if you have questions. Also, if anyone would love to go deeper in healing and transformation and manifestation, I do one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Again, you can find me on social medias, or you can reach out to me through my website. So this is where we are right now, and I'm so happy because finally my dream came true, really, to have these online courses when people can learn, to be inspired in their own pace. It's not like, oh, you have to be there at a certain time to work with your coach, but they can do it on their own pace. So my online courses are available. So yeah, thank you for asking.
You're welcome. So the people that are listening to you, yep, you can check out Christina's work. If you love what she's saying and you want to connect more with her, she's available. She has course that you can take to test out what she's doing, and of course, reach out to her. You can see that she's really capable of delivering what she's talking about. So, Christina, what is going to be the final thought here to conclude this conversation? Your final message to the people.
Well, first of all, I would love to say thank you for having me. It was a privilege and an honor as always. And also, I would love to say that, remember, if you are watching this now or you're going to watch it later, that you are destined for greatness. Okay? No matter what, no matter who's telling you anything, never ever give up on yourself. Never ever give up on your dreams, because you are worthy. You are here for a reason. You are here with a purpose. So I believe in you, and I would love to invite you, beautiful soul watching this now, that start to believe in yourself now, start to love yourself now, and really truly believe that you are destined for greatness because you are. So, in much love and light.
Thank you so much for that, Krisztina. That is really a positive message of hope and, of course, an encouragement. So, yeah, you have heard Krisztina what she said. You are the best specimen that the universe have created. So you need to believe in yourself. There is no other copy of you. You are original. So the worst thing that you can do is to copy other people and be like them. No, you need to continue to refine yourself and become a better version of yourself. But you are always the original. Love yourself. Life is hard, yes, but make sure everything that happened to you is channeled towards you becoming a better version of you, because really, you are a unicorn. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And of course, we believe that you have subscribed to this channel and you have, wherever you are listening, if you listen to the audio version, you are subscribed to wherever you are listening so that you can see more of this episode coming up every now and then. So yes, leave also your thought, what you think about this conversation, and let us know how we'll be able to help you. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much, Krisztina, for your time. I appreciate your presence.
I thank you so much. Lots of love.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.